This is my Valorant agent tier list for episode 7, act 1. So to start off, we're gonna go ahead and put Reyna in useless. I don't understand why people still play this agent. She's borderline completely useless as none of her utility actually works unless you're getting kills. The fact that there's so many bottom frag Reynas that insta-lock is ridiculous. So she's in the useless tier and she's staying there. Now we're gonna save Deadlock for last, but next we're gonna go with Jett. Jett is absolutely an insta-lock. A lot of people, while they hate on Jett mains, they have to understand that Jett is an incredible agent for enabling them to get kills. Unlike Reyna, all of her utility can be used instantly to get that first entry frag pick and take space for her team, making her an incredible agent for very skilled players. Now, another insta-lock agent, I have to put Killjoy up there. Killjoy is not only insane with a team, but also in solo queue because it allows you to affect every single round. You can lock down the site in post plant and you can lock down an entire site on defense, meaning if you're a good Killjoy main, they cannot push your site. Now, I'm gonna have to put Brim in mid. Although he's a very good smoke agent, Astra absolutely reigns supreme on most maps, and the maps where Astra isn't as good, Omen just seems like a better pick because he's more self-sufficient. Now, speaking of Omen, we're gonna put Omen in solid pick, and then we'll go ahead and throw Astra up there as well. They're both incredible controllers. Astra is definitely more of a team-focused agent, but Omen is an extremely self-sufficient agent that is great for lurking. They both have smoke, so on most maps you can pick either and you will be just fine. Now, Yoru, I'm going to put in don't pick unless you are an incredible, and I mean incredible Yoru main. When you're an incredible Yoru, Yoru is actually really good in rank. You can outbrain your enemies, and the mind games that you can play are incredible against uncoordinated teams. Meaning if you're solo queuing, Yoru is amazing, but if you're 5 stacking, maybe less so. So we're gonna keep him in don't pick. Then we're gonna put Neon in mid. I think if you're a really good Neon with really good movement, she's good, but she's still not a better pick than someone like Jett. Neon is amazing, but the slide and the sprint typically aren't as good as Jett's dash for actually taking space and entry fragging. So we're gonna put her in mid because although in competitive she can be really good and you can easily top frag, she's just not as good as Jett, and I think you should always be running one duelist. We are going to put Raze in solid pick. The reason being is on a lot of maps, Raze is incredible, like Fracture or Lotus. But for the most part, you always want to run Jett over Raze, so we have to put her below Jett. Now, Harbor is an incredible agent, but he's only really good on 2 or 3 maps. Because of that, we have to put him in mid. I can't justify putting Harbor above that when he is incredible on some maps, but horrible on others. We're going to put Viper in the same tier because usually if you're running a Viper, you also want to run a Harbor and run the double controller. Otherwise, she's just not self-sufficient as a controller enough to be higher than mid. Now, Phoenix, I'm going to go ahead and put in don't pick. Although he can be a great duelist, I think that Neon, Jett, and Raze are all better, and they have to be placed above him. His utility is just not quite as effective at entry fragging, although his ult is incredible. Now, Fade is really good, but I think she's worse than Sova, so I'm gonna have to put her in mid, and then we're gonna put Sova in solid pick. He's an amazing initiator, but he's not an insta-lock because he's not one of those agents that you want to be consistently running on every single map. He's super good on almost every map, though, so you really can't go wrong with him. Now, Breach, I'm going to put in mid for the same reason as Harbor earlier, because although he's a very good initiator, he's just not that good on a lot of maps. I'd say only about half of them is he actually really good on. So we have to put him in mid because he's, well, mid. Now, Skye, we absolutely have to throw in insta-lock. I think she's the best initiator in the game right now. She is super versatile. She has her dog, flashes to help out her entry frag. She has a heal, and her ult is great for clutch situations. She's overall easily the best initiator in the game, so she has to be an insta-lock. Now, Sage, this is going to be a controversial one. I'm going to put her in don't pick. She is a great agent, but with Deadlock introduced, I think Deadlock does almost everything that she does, but better. Neither of them watch flank, they both can slow down their enemies with stuns or slows, and they both have a wall. So Sage has to go and don't pick just now that Deadlock was introduced, but we'll get to Deadlock here in a minute. Now, Chamber, I'm going to put in mid. After his buffs, he's actually really good now, but he's just not quite as effective as other Sentinels for locking down sites. When he gets his ult or enough money for an op, he's great. He's a great Sentinel, but he just doesn't quite compare to the rest of the Sentinels, so we have to put him in mid. Now, Kayle, we're going to put up in solid pick. He's good on every single map. He basically turns the game into CSGO. So if you're the kind of player that just wants to run around, frag out, and still have the utility to help out your duelist, go KO. Gecko, we are also going to put in solid pick. You can't go wrong with Gecko on any map. He can plant the spike with Wingman, he has a molly, and a very good flash that lets you know where the enemies are. Plus, his ult is just dumb. So we're gonna put him up in solid pick. Now, Cypher, we're going to go up to Insta-Lock. Cypher is probably the best sentinel in the game. He can watch flank and completely lock down sites. And when you have those Cypher setups with cages and trips, you can get a ton of free kills and give your team the advantage every single round. Now, last but not least, the agent you've been waiting for, Deadlock. Deadlock is going to go right below Cypher. I have been maining her a ton since she came out, and she is incredible. But I would say slightly less consistent than Cypher just because she can't watch the flank. But I'd say the only reason she's down below Cypher is because she can't watch the flank. What do you guys think of my tier list? Let me know in the comments below, and please like and subscribe to see more videos like this.